Hey Z fans, Stephen Browning here, just kind of recapping the year. I'm actually here on Logan Martin, and this is the last of the Southern Opens, but man, we've had a busy schedule this year. You know, we started off down at Sabine, Texas on the Sabine River. That was an event that you felt like, you know, there was times when I would fish 4 or 5 hours and really didn't even know if I was even around a bass. It's just that brackish water, and that's what happens when you get down in that type of situation. But, you know, I was able to squeak out of there with a check. You know, we roll on to there to Falcon Lake, probably one of the best fisheries in the country without a doubt. And, you know, Steve-O ended up with a big 0. And, you know, it was one of those deals. I was getting just enough bites out deep to kind of intrigue me to think that, you know, I had the potential of catching one of those 30, 40-pound stringers, and that's what, you know, that's what we do. I mean, you know, you have to put yourself in a position to try to win, and I thought that's where my best chances to win were. And, you know, it didn't work out real well for me the first day. The second day, you know, the pressure's off because, you know, you're just fishing to be fishing, so to speak. So, you know, we ended up way down on the bottom, and you know, it was just a bad decision. Fish your strengths and then make your changes that way. You know, we roll on to there to Bull Shoals, and Bull Shoals was kind of the event that I would definitely have to say kind of got the year going again. You know, I was able to make the cut there, but I was able to make the cut by some late catches on day 2. Rick Clunn once said, you know, those last couple of hours, there's probably more tournaments won and lost in the last 2 hours of a tournament than any other time, you know, in a tournament day. I want to fish just as strong those last 2 hours as I did the first 2 hours, and you know, was able to catch a keeper fish right at the buzzer at Bull Shoals, put me in you know, the 50 cut, and went on and caught a decent stringer the next day and moved up a few places. And you know, that just, you know, that last minute fish on day 2 at Bull Shoals just kind of put a little pep in my step, and you know, I carried that right on down to the Red River. It was one of those deals where actually I won a tiebreaker, and I actually beat out James Nigmeyer by having the heaviest catch of the 2 days of competition, the first 2 days of competition, and was able to squeak into the top 12. I'm pretty sure in the history of bass, nobody has came from 12th place to win the event. The week before, Jason Christie came from 11th to win the event, and just kind of showed you that, by gosh, you know, if you're fishing that last day, you know, anything can happen. That's what happened at the Red River. I, you know, was in 12th place, was like 5 pounds behind the leader going into the last day, but you know, that was an event that, you know, we saw a lot of guys struggle, you know, especially on day 2. Some of the leaders, you know, really had bad days, and that's just typical of a river situation. You know, you kind of run out of fish, and you know, I think that's what happened. River flow kind of slowed down that last day. The area that I went to was an area that, you know, I'd found some fish on the very first afternoon of practice. I was actually throwing the original chatterbait, chartreuse and white, had me a little flapping crawls on the back end of it, and I actually cut the hook off. There was a couple of guys that, competition guys that were in there, and you know, that's one of the things that I always try to keep a handful of baits that have the hooks cut off of them, especially the chatterbait. I mean, it's, you know, that's a feel bait. You know, you wind it around, you can feel what it's doing down there. And it was just a deal where, you know, I had 2 or 3 bites. I actually had an opportunity to see one, and knew that it was of the right caliber. So, you know, that's a good search bait for me. I use it. I have 2 or 3 of them tied on, different patterns, you know, tied on at all times, especially during practice, because you can cover a lot of water with it. Well, and that was definitely the key for me winning that particular event. I think I gave West Point a little bit too much credit. You know, we were there a couple of years ago, and the lake produced some good stringers of fish. This year, I kind of fished for largemouth when I probably should have been fishing for spotted bass. And, you know, just tried to get out of there with a check and a decent finish. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me, and enjoyed meeting you guys and talking to you while while I'm at different venues. So if you see me out there, gas station, tournament site, wherever, look me up. I appreciate you. Stephen Browning, Z-Man Flash.